Okay.
And third was Masjid al-Aqsa, and then the fourth was as though we were in the heavens and the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was there, and it was like descending down upon us.
This was during the session with the Hazrat Sahib, yeah? The Salah.
Yeah, this was then, yeah.
Anything else from Asr or Maghrib or Isha?
Nothing, just following the procedure.
Okay, mashallah. So you were able to follow whatever capacity, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so mashallah, that's good. So you continue doing this like this, mashallah. Someone put the hand, you yourself put your hand up, did you? Okay, brother, answer.
I was just going to say that I did do it on Isha Salah as well.
Okay. You did do it?
Yeah, I did do it. And it was quite similar to the one Dhuhr, I think.
After
which
Zuhr that we
was
did?
yeah, after Zuhr,
Rakat,
which
yeah.
was, it was kind of open to whatever I wanted to do.
Okay.
So it was quite detailed.
So what one aspect do you remember from that detailed one? From Isha Salah?
Just going in, praying in Masjid Nabi.
Okay.
That was the main one, and so I did try it, I think, at Maghrib, but I tried to do it in like 10 seconds, the Lataif, but I don't think it was happening.
Okay. Yeah, see, it takes time to prepare yourself mentally, spiritually and so on. What happens once you become well versed and expert at it, then 10 seconds is also sufficient as well. Anyone left from the other side? But the Fakhr, I think.
I was distracted at the Zohar Salah before we started the prayer because I came late from the Wuzu area, so I couldn't concentrate. But the Asr Salah, after the transfer, I saw Hazrat Sahib sitting on the prayer mat where they normally pray, and then we travelled to the 4 places.
Travel to where, sorry?
First to Old Madinah Sharif.
Okay, mashallah. Mashallah. Anything specific you observed, you saw, you heard?
No, not really.
Okay, just followed naturally.
Just followed.
Okay, mashallah. So you just carry on more and more like this in all the salah as well, inshallah. And you only get better, inshallah. So that's good. Brother, and from here, these rows, by Shafiq. Brother Abdul Basit behind you. And then Brother Shafiq.
I did try and answer Maghrib and Isha as well.
Yes.
It worked out, and I can say the Salat is quite improved.
MashaAllah.
So it's more focused.
A bit detail in terms of how it improved, so that we all understand what you were trying to say.
So I don't divert much.
Okay.
So it's focused.
The old Masjid
yeah.
And then Khana Kaaba and so on.
I think in Asr, I chose to be in Medina Sharif for the entire namaz. In Maghrib, it was 1 rakat in Medina, second in Makkah, and the third one in Aqsa, along with Baytul Mamur. Yes, and in Isha I did the same.
Do you remember how you saw Baytul Mamur? Just as
I actually went from 1 rakat. So when in the Jamaat Hazrat Sahib would say Allahu Akbar, I would transfer myself from Medina to Makkah. And then again Allahu Akbar, I go from Makkah to Aqsa, and likewise to Baytul Mamur.
No, I was trying to ask is, do you remember the image how Baytul Mamur looked like?
I prayed inside, and I took the nur that was coming from inside on myself, which helped me to actually become a bit more solid inside as well, in myself.
Okay, mashallah. So this you actually went inside of the Kaaba?
Yes.
Mashallah, that's really good. Good to hear, mashallah. Well, mashallah, good, you did well. You just have to continue like this, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And then you'll get better. Anyone else remember the Shafiq? Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. With Hazrat Sahib during the Zohar Salah.
Is Zohar Faraz or there's Nawafil?
No, the Nawafil. Yeah. Went to Medina Sharif, and I remember looking at the ceiling of the Masjid Nabawi, and I could remember visually seeing the light breaking through, flickering through the ceiling, and then looking around, I could see straw baskets and things, and I was looking around the masjid, and I could see quite clearly most of the masjid, and I was thinking to myself, this is not the purpose that I'm here, not to look around at the surroundings. I'm here for ibadah. But I remember feeling the heat, the smell of Medina Sharif. I could hear the birds, the lights flickering through the thing. So I was too engrossed in my environment to what I was seeing than the real purpose why I should have been there. But maybe I should have asked us about that.
Maybe first of all an experience, and naturally you pick up on these things.
Yes,
the nature of what you do as a work and everything else.
So really I was overwhelmed by what I could see.
But it's a good experience that you were quite detailed in terms of what you saw and experienced and felt. Did you taste anything as well?
No, I wish I did. No.
Okay. That's the only thing that, inshallah. You can physically taste it as though, mashallah. Ji, bhai, you want to say anything? Up. Brother, in front of you, Ji.
No.
He was there? Were you there?
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. I just seen when just like played Nafal Namaz. I went with Hazrat Sahab, Medina Mosque, Medina Sharif, and pray namaz, and just I stay there, keep sitting and watching Roza Mubarak. I didn't say anything, and that's
so
it.
You can just imagine that you're doing namaz whilst here in Roza Mubarak. Then what else can you hope for and wish for? That in itself is a blessing. So mashallah. So you did mashallah well from that perspective. You transferred and you managed to see. So you can see that everyone at their own level, they've had their experiences, and no experience is an experience. You have to take it. It's at their level of an experience. So everyone, wherever you are, if you work on it more now, that just gives you like a direct picture that wherever you are, if you work on it, you can only get better. If your vision is a bit blurry, like you're saying, hazy, then by focusing on it more, it'll become more clearer. If you visited one of the maqams, Masjid Nabawi or Kaaba, and so on, then you can traverse the other paths as well, like you showed in the diagram. So everyone can, wherever you're at, you can improve and take it to the next level, inshallah. Uncle Iqbal, like to say anything? Okay, that's fine. Brother Amr?
Assalamu alaikum. When we read the Nafal with behind the Sahab, read in the old Masjid Nabawi Sharif, and we were all reading in congregation, and there was light coming from the person or the personality that was leading the Jamaat, and I remember vividly that light descended from the heavens and it spread out to all the people that were in the masjid, and then the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came, and just Nur just spread out all over. And then during the second, I think the third rakat, I went to Makkah Sharif and read there, and I was with Hazrat Sahab. It was just me and himself, and we got closer and closer towards the Kaaba Sharif, and then all of a sudden the doors opened and we went inside, and it was myself and himself, and then we finished the rest of this line there.
MashaAllah. So very good, MashaAllah, very good. It seems quite vivid because we can recollect everything. It's been a few hours, almost 8-9 hours, we still recollect. That means that you had a very good experience. Now imagine that I stand like this, go to a masjid full of people like this now, any masjid, and ask the people with a mic, we just offered Isha Salah, how was your experience? What do you think they will say? None of us here so far have said, if I was thinking about my shop, or my business, or my children at home, or my family is not well. So far, no one have said that. So that shows, with that kind of training, with the guidance of the teacher and so on, how with instantly, it's like almost a miracle that our Salah had made a difference. Anyone here actually had an experience of the family and shop or anything like this? You can also mention if you want to. Brother Talat.
Assalamu alaikum. From the experiences that we've been having, I didn't have time to do the muraqbah, but every salah.
Which one are you talking? Oh, no.
Since the Asr Nawafil, I haven't had a chance to practice the muraqbah and go through the whole process. But each salah now is very focused, and I can see the green gummad of Medina Sharif, and Allah's name above in front of me in each salah, without too much effort. And alhamdulillah, and I think that's a sort of a byproduct of what we've been doing. So it's more focused.
It's not byproduct. This is the result of what you've
Well,
been
yeah, and it's not very, very focused on these things rather than mind wandering now.
Yeah. So that shows, like, for example, maybe until now, all our life, it was a mission that, I wish my salah, we have khushu and khudu, like the concentration and devotion in prayer. And now look, with this training, under the guidance and so on, how this is made so easy. So that in itself is a success. Remember, today is a Monday night, and I think you can see the results coming through now. I've got a big poll here. The flickering of the results are coming through, and it looks quite good, mashallah, so far. Anyone else that I've not asked that you'd like to mention? From here? Brother Wasim, you want to do the honors? I think our media team are always busy and they don't get a chance to participate. Mashallah.
Are you asking about the salah?
Yeah, any salah or with Hazrat Sahib and afterwards. Or any other feedback from any other sessions?
The one with Hazrat Sahib, what I do recall is that I kept my eyes closed for better concentration, and I just felt that I was traveling. That's it.
Did you manage to hear any extra sound or anything?
No.
Because naturally, when you're good at something, and then you pick up on these things. Brother Shafiq is a fresh and fruit and veg person, so you picked up all these different things in around Masjid Nawawi. Yeah, someone put a hand up. You, yourself, Zain. Mashallah, our young brother here is a 16-year-old young man.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
This prayer was different to all other prayers.
Which prayer? Which one?
The normal prayers I read.
No, I mean, which prayer you talking about?
The Nafal one.
Isha one.
No, that
one. Nafal one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt different. I traveled as well.
Mashallah.
I traveled to different places.
Do you remember where you traveled?
I traveled to Makkah, to
closer to you. Yeah.
Masjid Nabi, and different places as well.
Mashallah.
Can't remember that much.
Have you ever had this experience before?
Never had this experience before.
Okay. So now, since then, Asr, Maghrib and Isha, were you able to follow similarly?
Asr I did, but Maghrib, Isha I didn't do that.
So it's just a matter of now preparing yourself beforehand, 5-10 minutes, come sit down quietly, prepare yourself, do the quickly lataif.
Usually things come in my mind, but this time it didn't come.
Okay.
Nothing came. Yeah.
But if you plan ahead, do it regularly, then it will come to you naturally, inshallah. Inshallah. Mashallah, is really good. Mashallah. Brother Siraj? Okay. And then Brother Jabir after, because he didn't get a chance here last night.
Assalamu alaikum. I'll speak about the 4 Nafal with Hazrat.
Yeah, sure.
And during this transferred and followed, went to Masjid Nabawi Sharif and the Kaaba Sharif, and I went into the skies as well. I went to Bayt al-Mamur Sharif and to the Arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so on, inshallah.
So you followed all that. Anything specific you like to mention in terms of scenery or anything, or you met any special person anyway? Any advice briefly you want to mention?
No, nothing.
Okay, that's fine. Inshallah. Brother Jabir.
Bismillah ar-Rahim.
the four nafil with Hazrat Sahab. In the first rakat, we were in the old Masjid Nabawi Sharif. Hazrat was in the front row with all this, with the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ was leading the Salah, and there were other companions scattered around the room as well. I remember seeing a figure of Sayyidina Abu Dharr radiallahu anhu, and the second rakat we went to the old Kaaba Sharif, and at the back row there was Sayyidina Ibrahim and Sayyidina Ishaq radiallahu anhu, alayhi salam. The third rakat we were at Masjid al-Aqsa, and we seen quite a few prophets of Allah there, and the fourth rakat we went to. We arrived at the heavens. I seen a nice. It was like nice greenery, nice waterfalls, and it felt quite tranquil as well. And in the Asr Salah we went. We were at the Bayt al-Ma'mur. I remember seeing like a black Kaaba Sharif with loads of angels doing tawaf there as well.
Have you managed to? Okay, mashallah, yeah, you already mentioned, that's fine. So that's good, mashallah. And Maghrib and Isha were they similar?
For Maghrib, I can't remember, but for Isha, it's like all the time I was in Masjid Nabawi Sharif, and the Prophet ﷺ was where.
Mashallah, so really good. So now you can perform all the salahs, like so, at least all 5 men of the major ones throughout the day and night, inshallah. MashaAllah, good. Brother Ibrahim Ali.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
On the Zuhr time, the 4 rakat nafal, we prayed with Hazrat Sahab. So on that time, I tried to follow the images that what we saw there. So after we transfer, I saw myself with the Hazrat Sahab in face, and from there saw myself. There was the light on the sky, and then on top of the Masjid al-Nabawi, top of the Masjid al-Nabawi, the old one. And after that, I saw like all the brothers, and everybody was praying. So as Hazrat was praying here, I was following up the Salah, and I felt I was keep wondering about Sayyidina Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu and Sayyidina Hazrat Umar, and I felt, I don't know, I just saw there was a too bright light was on my side, very very bright light. I couldn't and from there I read 2 rakat namaz here on Masjid Nabawi, and the other 2 rakat I saw myself was in the Kaaba Sharif, the old Kaaba Sharif, and slightly my mind was drifting, and I saw those all those images came on my mind of those big gates and the greenery and the waterfall.
MashaAllah. So you had a very good experience as well. You saw many things of the different Muqam and stations as well. And was it similar in your Asr, Maghrib and so on?
I didn't follow on the Asr and the Maghrib, and on the Isha last 2 rakat I was trying to.
So that shows when you prepare yourself beforehand, do the quicker version of the Lataif transfer, and no matter where you are, which masjid you are in your locality, you can practice that and you will see the same results, inshallah. And slowly it will only improve and enhance, mashallah. Well, brother, on the far end, brother Dilawar.
Assalamu
alaikum.
My experiences were just like all rest of the brothers. I was just following through, going to Masjid Nabawi and just trying to follow through at the thought level and some imagination as well. For Asr it was similar, and for the other salahs I didn't practice it.
So, have you ever done your salah like this before? As you did with Hazrat Sahib after Zuhr?
No.
Okay, so the first time you did this. And did you find that much better than other ones in the past?
Yes.
MashaAllah. So then you got the tools, MashaAllah, you're able to transfer that experience. It's just a matter of now mentally prepare yourself and go through. And like the Hazrat Sahib said, the teacher said, that you don't have to spend any extra time. You can just, as you are getting ready for Salah namaz, for example, Zuhur or Asr or whatever, Isha, at home or in the masjid, then you can just prepare, go off, 5-10 minutes beforehand, prepare yourself and pray namaz like so, either you leading it or behind an imam. And your salah will be much, much different than other salahs we've done in the past, inshallah. So, mashallah, jazakallah for feedback. Brother Zafar, you've not said much.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Basically, mine was restricted to the Nawafil prayer that we did behind Hazrat Sahib. I was able to transfer and then went looking for my teacher, and we then actually went together to Medina Sharif, and by the time we got there, the namaz had already started. And we just joined the back of the saf, right at the back, and we were led, the prayers were led. And then after about, I think it was a couple of rakats, I had my eyes closed all throughout the time, and then a thought came to me to open my eyes, so instantly I transferred from that Medina to this Medina Masjid. And so then I was able to flip backwards and forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So best thing would be that once you transferred and you go into the Old Masjid Nabawi and so on other places, just let it flow. Just carry on naturally with the natural flow of things. If you spend all your time in Masjid Nabawi, that's fine, or Kaaba or any other place that you're traveling. Just let yourself go and travel. Make it easy. You don't have to check yourself what's happening and so on. Just let it happen, inshallah. That's the best way. And then once you become more prolific at it, you do it again and again and again. Then you start to see, for example, other blessed personalities, and even start to interact with them as well. And then, something this happens, what you just said, you come back and you go back again. And that has a then different meaning as well, why sometimes this happens. In terms of your experience, maybe coming back here, focusing on the Imam recitation of Quran in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you're going back there again, then it's all a blessing in that sense. The soul is experiencing at a different time frame at the same time, so that's the power of the spirit becomes stronger. And usually that happens, like one brother was saying earlier, today, inshallah. Okay.
Jazakallah.
Haji Ramzan, sir, want to mention?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The 4 rakat nafil we did behind the teacher, I noticed that I was standing next to the teacher and in Medina Park, looking at the blessed back of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And then that was in the first rakat. Second rakat went up to the Kaaba Sharif door. We were in front of the door. Again, Hazrat Sahib next to me. Then went to Masjid Aqsa, similar thing, and then went up to the Kaaba Sharif up in the heavens. And what I noticed occasionally, or maybe only once, that the thought was going towards the dunya, but managed to refocus very quickly back onto the salah. And one of the major things I noticed in this salah compared to the normal salah is that in the normal salah the mind is drifting, but here, alhamdulillah, the mind was completely focused. I then tried, so that was that. Then for the other salah, Isha salah, I didn't do any preparation, but I tried going to these places, and unfortunately it was a no-go.
Yeah, that's an indication that, inshallah, once you reach that proficiency, then maybe, inshallah, you could do so. But until then, it's always advisable that you go through those processes of lataif, be even for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, of all of them before. Then you'll see the difference, because then you're purifying. Sometimes, in the masjid here, maybe you're not committing sins as such or whatever, but because we are interacting at the meal times and other times and talking to people about different things and different issues and whatever, then obviously our kind of focus gets diverted. And what the lataif does again is that it refocuses you, realigns you again to that mission that you're doing, going on, which is the salah coming up, inshallah. So this thing you can do before sleep, like the teacher have said, before salah, before any of the ibadah you do, even reciting Quran, then you see a different perspective when you're reciting Quran and benefiting. Obviously this will be mentioned by teacher in the future as well. MashaAllah, good. Sidi Professor Muhammad, want to mention anything?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The 4 rak'ats we read behind the teacher, in fact, it was whenever it is after the teacher, in fact, it is always much easier. Yes. We know, we can feel, in fact, one can feel that one is given a push, a real one. And even in the second rak'ah, I lagged behind in Masjid Nabawi. I tend always to prefer to be in the Masjid Nabawi. I don't know why. And then I remembered that we need normally to be in front of the Kaaba Sharif. So I went to Kaaba Sharif, and we finished the second rak'ah there. The third was in Masjid al-Aqsa. The fourth was in Bayt al-Ma'mur. Bayt al-Ma'mur. And as the gentleman sitting next to me said, one of the big achievements is that the mind is focused. You don't have to, in fact, to try to focus it, because instead of, for instance, in normal salah, one needs to, as it were, shut the window so that one does not drift away here and there. Now you are allowed, in fact, to drift after from one place to another. So salah becomes number 1 focused, number 2 pleasurable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brother Mudassar, want to mention?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, all the sessions were really helpful, and I felt the ones where I was comfortable and I could concentrate the most and experience many things different things to what everyone else was experiencing.
So in the salah, Nawfal Salah with Hadra, how was that as an experience?
I couldn't concentrate in there because I could hear him.
Okay, and what about the subsequent Salah afterwards, or Asr, Maghrib, Isha? Or if you want to say anything about the previous sessions we've had, Lataif or Muraqabah, you're free to do so.
In one of the sessions we did, I think the third one, once the group had gone to Fez, I felt myself and a couple of other brothers. We went with the teacher to, it was like a big maze, and it had really high walls, and there was a
so
lot.
mashallah, you had the experience going to those different maqams and so on.
Yeah, and
you're saying this is like it was personalized with your own rather than with the whole group.
Yeah, the group went like to Medina Sharif, and myself and some brothers were in like a maze, and we were following Hazrat Sahab.
Okay.
And they were showing us how to
get out of this maze, and there were like many traps and scenery there, and I saw some of our brothers who used to sit with us in the past, but maybe have left our gatherings. It wasn't their bodies, it was like their spirits. They were running around aimlessly in this maze, like they were lost. And I was asked to the teacher that we recognize these brothers, but what are they doing? And it was mentioned that they decided to take their own route or let go of the key or the map, and now they are lost until they change their intention, and we just followed Hazrat until they led us out of the maze, and we joined the rest of the group in Medina Sharif after that.
Really, it's self-explanatory what the brothers have said. Thank you, Jazakallah. The main lesson one can learn from it, the maze itself and the complexity of it, is the complexity and the difficulties of dunya and life itself. Without the guide and without the guidance and following, then people will be lost and are lost. And biggest lesson we learn that alhamdulillah we are all here by our free will, and we're learning voluntarily. But don't forget that this free will is always there. To choose between good and evil is always with us. It's another notion people come into, that, oh, I've reached certain things, or I've achieved something, or I've tasted something. And they think, oh, this is going to be natural now, almost automated. And I don't have to do much, or I will not fall into sins, or that option is gone. No, that option is always there until the last breath we die. That if at any time in our life we decide to go in path A or path B, that's still there. You know, these choices you make, you still have full control over. So people get into misnomer that they think now automatically I'll be doing all these good things, and I don't have to worry about falling into sin or what you call it, ghafla, and so on and so forth, or go in a different direction. All this is still there as it is, with the freedom of choice. Only thing that happens here by coming to this retreat and learning all these skill sets, you could say, is that your level of yaqeen has increased. I think I'd be right to say that everyone here would agree with me that if I say that yes, after these 3-4 days, at everyone's individual level, everyone to an extent have had an experience, some kind of a level of certainty that has increased, because they themselves have witnessed, to whatever level or degree, something. Vast majority of us anyway. So that yaqeen now, you can use that as a powerful tool and a motivator, and the source of energy that you continue practice these things. And then once you have that inbuilt inside you, like inbuilt power and energy source, then it's easier to counter attraction or a something that is going against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know that, no, I'm going to go to the next Salah, I'm going to offer my Salah, and Allah will be with me. I'll be going to those places. Then how can I face, going to those places and visiting them if I carry out this act which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam dislikes? So that's the level of power of iman, or the yaqeen, builds by going to these practices. So that it makes it easier that you can continue. But don't forget, we still have the freedom of choice. And if you choose to go on another path, tangent against or opposite to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we are capable of doing this. So don't be deluded in that sense, that, why does this happen to me? After I've come to the retreat, I've seen these things or experienced, and now I've ended up back to my old lifestyle. That's why some of the precautionary obstacles are mentioned, and the prescription is given beforehand in the first few days 1 or 2 days. That helps you to stay on that path, inshallah. So always keep that in mind, inshallah. Jazakallah to Brother Mudassir. Brother Ibrahim actually wanted to mention something.
Just a quick question. When we're in Salah, in the physical Salah, and when we're in the spiritual realm, do we also have to do Salah in the spiritual realm? Because sometimes it got drifted.
In spiritual sense, you are free to do what you do, like in visiting different places, because that has no bearing in a sense of law point of view. Does your Salah break? Do you have to follow? No. If you find yourself you doing Salah in the Salah as well, that's fine. But if you find yourself, like Brother Shafiq was saying, observing many things in the surroundings, the heat and the birds and the kind of palm trees and so on, and the straws, then that's also fine, because you're still in Salah in the real world, in the real sense of the word. That's just an experience you're getting through the Salah. And like he himself said, that his own personal wish that he doesn't want to get involved like this, but rather he wants to focus on Salah and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and so on, which is obviously a higher thing to do. But that in itself is a very good experience. That, you when you go to Medina Sharif or in Makkah Sharif in real life, as you're doing the Umrah or Tawaf and so on, you observe these things anyway. When you're doing Tawaf is a worship. You're going around circumambulating. But you get to see other people. Sometimes people talk to people as well. Take selfies and do all the other things. And they see many things on the floor. They see the buildings out there. They see skyscrapers, cranes and so many other things. So you see all this anyway in your actual ibadah. Your ibadah is not affected by seeing these things. So inshallah, so that it doesn't have that kind of bearing or any issue if you are concerned about this. That just adds to your experience. That's all, inshallah. Brother Rose. So inshallah, as our Ustad advised, inshallah, we're going to begin one of the sessions very shortly. So because you sat down on the floor for a while, just to give you a quick break and let the blood flow through your whole system and legs and limbs, you can stand up now and just, if you want to stretch as well, you can stretch yourself, stretch your legs, stretch your arms. And this time will be slightly different because we're going to be doing multiple things all at once. So for this, inshallah, just everyone to come in the saf. Try to fill the first row. I'll move out the way as well. Just leave a gap as well in the middle.
Just leave the middle.
Ji. So as you did before, just take your place, inshallah. So initially what we'll be doing is, as we did before, is the Lataif Amal. Then we're going to continue, I mentioned we're going to do the Muraqabah Muhammadiyah for a while, inshallah. And once that's done, then I will indicate and we'll stand up and we'll get ready to offer 2 rakat nafil salah. So for this, if you need to do wudu, if you don't have wudu, then it's necessary obviously for salah. So you don't want to obviously go in the middle of it, do then come back. Might as well do it now if you need to, inshallah. So that you don't have to break your amaz and muraqabah to do wuzu and come back. So yeah, if you need to do wuzu, you can go for that as well. But please be quick, we're going to start very soon. Sorry, brothers, I would advise, because you want to get your mindset going, if it's not absolutely necessary, try not to talk, because talking takes away, like our Haji Ramzan Sahib was saying, when you engage in talking, your mind is diverted. So we can talk afterwards before sleep, and we go in anyway, you can talk as you like, inshallah. Yeah, if you need to quickly have a quick bite of something, fresh energy, banana or apple, then quickly within a few minutes. Then make sure your mouth is clean. Don't think about, I've got something in my mouth and salah is affected as a result of it. it's not really time anymore for the Nafil Salah. Really, just to get you refreshed and make a start. And if you need to do wudu for later on, not for now. So we'll give you about 2 minutes. We're going to begin, inshallah. Leave that there. Inshallah, Washington. Please try to remain silent if possible, and come and join in the saf, like as though we're going to offer salah.
As we're waiting for the last few to get together, just keep the 3 keys in mind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with me, seeing me and hearing me. Start to make your intention for the pleasure of Allah. And we will begin shortly. We will briefly guide you through the lataifs and then through to transfer. Then after that you will do your own travel. We will give you about 20 minutes or so. You will do the Muraqabah Muhammadiyah, and then from there you will continue with the Miraj. And just a very brief reminder, after transfer, remember the key. The key is your teacher. Through your teacher, you will have access, inshallah, to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Once you find your teacher, make your way to the courtyard and sit with your teacher facing the blessed green dome. From there, through the door, you come to the golden gate. Through the golden gate, under the white dome will be the green veil. Through the green veil, you will be under the white dome, and then the spiral staircase that will take you down to the blessed grave. That's just a brief reminder, as you will be given after transfer approximately 20 minutes or so to travel your own journey. So that 20 minutes is for the Muraqabah Muhammadiyah, and then from there you can continue your own miraj. And then after 20 minutes you stay in the transfer position, and you'll stand up and make intentions for 2 rakat spiritual salah, nafal. This will be indicated, inshallah.
So go take your chairs and go in the Saf al-Din Salah afterwards, inshallah. Because if you're in a certain position straight away, then you can't do sijda or whatever, then it's best to take your chair wherever you're comfortable, inshallah. Let's say as you do one Salah. And I think there's more space on this side, maybe you can fill this side up with chairs. It's exactly how we do it in namaz.
Sorry? Yeah, I think so. Inshallah, yeah. So just wait.
Tell the last people when they will have to come. And there should be no going out from the hall, coming in after that. If anyone is late, apart from certain people, then they should go upstairs and be there to follow the salah from there. Brother, can you just as you go and say that's fine. So we'll keep a path of yourself in the chair. The chair, the bike, you take that chair bike. And then just to someone trying to check in the bathroom, the wuzu khana, it's so clear. Fill this up as well, because I'm going to do salah. So. I said once I just indicate to us, yes? Wait for Hadi confirm to indicate us.
So we're just about to start now. So if you haven't taken your places in your safs, can you please do so now? Make intentions, keep the 3 keys in mind. If you can do the umbles of protection, Surah Fatiha once. Ayatul Kursi once. do the 3 kulls in order 3 times, then blow on your hands and rub over your head and your body, please. Keeping the 3 keys in mind. Now, if you go through the 3 muraqabahs, first bring yourself into a state of humbleness. Use an example that's personal to you, that brings you in a state of humbleness, ajizi. Now bring yourself into a state of gratefulness, thankfulness to Allah. Be thankful for all that you have seen and tasted so far by the will of Allah. Be thankful for being witness to those who have witnessed. Now bring yourself in a state of reliance, for we are not the doers. The doer is Allah, and this journey, if Allah wills it, it is with His will. This journey can be very easy. Rely on Allah. Now begin the starting amals. Bismillah. Astaghfar 3 times. Durood Sharif 3 times. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah 3 times. Keep the 3 keys in mind. Allah's with me, sees me and hears me. We'll spend a short time through the Lataifs. As it is short, bring your full concentration in Imagine the name of Allah is above this majlis, above our heads. It is in white color, shining with nur. Nur gathers and it comes, connects upon our crown lataif, which is a white lataif. As you breathe in through your nose, the nur comes down the white lataif into our bodies, through all the lataifs, throughout our whole body, to the tips of our toes, tips of our fingers. The light fills us as we breathe in. As you breathe out, the light comes out from your mouth, removing all the sins and darkness from within us. So if you breathe in through your nose, the light comes, the name of Allah, down from the top of your head, throughout the whole body. As you breathe out, you release the darkness, stress, worries. Keep the three keys in mind. Now imagine the name of Allah is in red color. Full concentration. The name of Allah is in red color, linked to the red lataif which is below the navel. As you breathe in, the light from the name of Allah is in red, comes from in front of you into the red lataif. As you breathe out, it comes out from behind, cleansing and cleaning the red lataif. If you continue this. Now imagine the name of Allah is in orange color, linked to the lataif at the navel, and continue with the same process of breathing. When you breathe in, The light comes the name of Allah in orange color into the orange lataif, and as you breathe out, it cleanses and cleans it and comes out from behind orange. The name of Allah is now in yellow color. The taif is above the navel, stomach level. Same process of breathing. Yellow. The name of Allah is now in green color. Green at the level of the chest. Same breathing process. Imagine the name of Allah is now in blue color, linked to the lataif in the throat. you refresh the three keys, Allah is with me, seeing me and hearing me. The name of Allah is now in indigo color, like a dark blue, linked to the forehead. The Lataif is at the forehead. As you breathe in, the dark blue, indigo color light comes the name of Allah to the front of the forehead, and as you breathe out, releases from behind. Now the name of Allah is in white color. The Lataif is linked with this on the white crown on the top of the head. The name of Allah is still in white color, but this time as you breathe in, the light from the name of Allah comes down from the top of the head, the white Lataif, down through all the Lataifs, energizing, cleansing them, and then the light then fills the whole body. Keep breathing like this. Breathe in, take a deep breath in. The light fills the whole body. And every breath you take out, the body is getting lighter and lighter. As you take a deep breath in through your nose, the light enters from the top. The white light from the name of Allah fills the whole body. With each breath, the body is getting lighter and starting to disintegrate. Your feet, legs, body, arms disappearing. All of your body has now disappeared. Just your breath, spirit, and the Lataifs. Continue the breathing. lataifs are starting to disappear. Red has disappeared. Now the orange. The yellow has disappeared. And now the green. The blue. Indigo. And the white. All the lataifs have now disappeared. Just your breath and spirit. Keep the presence. Allah's with me, seeing me and hearing me. Focus on your breathing. Now start to construct a mirror copy of yourself in front of you. As you construct your spiritual body in front of you, you see it illuminating in white. You have formed your spiritual, illuminated, white spiritual body in front of you. You are now getting ready to transfer by taking the golden breath. Those of you who haven't transferred, focus on your breathing and take such a breath out. It takes your consciousness into your spiritual body. You are now in your spiritual body. Now find your teacher. He will now give you time to make your own journey. So remember, the key is the teacher. Focus on the teacher. Travel the Muraqabah Muhammadiyah. Then continue from there. Continue your journey of Miraj from there. keep your eyes closed and stay in the presence. If you lose focus, bring yourself back. You have another 10 minutes. If you lose concentration, bring yourself back to the presence of your teacher and continue. Try to keep your eyes closed. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. If you keep to wherever you reached and keep within the presence of your teacher and your transfer, I want you to stand up now and make intentions for 2 rakat nafil. Make the intentions and wait.
Inshallah, keep your eyes closed and just carry on with your journey while standing up. Just let yourself carry on and flow. If you're in Medina Sharif and giving salawat and salam, continue. If you have in the gathering and the company, carried on to the old masjid in Makkah, old Makkah Sharif, or any other places, do continue. There's no limit for the soul and the spirit to stop anywhere, if you have the guide and the teacher amongst you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Allahu Akbar. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. inshallah, just remain in whatever state or experience you've had. There's no reason that you have to come out of that state or experience. Just stay there. If you sat down now, inshallah, just close your eyes and just remain there. If you want to give salam and salamat or anything, just remain there, inshallah. We'll begin the next phase. Just keep silent. Just recollect the thoughts. Imagine an experience with yourself, where you've been, what you need to do, any advice given in in this retreat. Just be with yourself, you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the teacher and the mashayikh and with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If you need to go, move or go elsewhere, bathroom, quietly go without talking to anyone and then quickly come back. But just stay where you are. Keep your eyes closed, inshallah.